Monday, February 14th, 2022, Blue Springs Planning Commission meeting to order. If everybody could please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, and welcome everybody this evening and those watching at home. Will you please have a roll call?
Commissioner Cradoff.
Present.
Commissioner Banks.
Present.
Commissioner Peel.
Present.
Commissioner Billups. Commissioner Stokenberry. Commissioner Honeycutt.
Present.
Chairperson Sanderson.
Present. All right, tonight's agenda consists of item 1A, the minutes from the January 24th Planning Commission meeting. Item 2, Unified Development Code text amendment for solar energy systems. Items 3 and 4, site plan design review and master alternative sign plan for McCarthy Blue Springs Hyundai. Items 5 and 6, site plan design review and final plat for Con Carpet East. Items 7 and 8, plan development final plan, site plan design review and final plat for Blue Springs High School and Freshman Center. Items 9 and 10, site plan design review and final plat for Dollar General. And item 11 is other business. At this time, I entertain a motion on the consent agenda for the approval of the January 24th, 2022 meeting minutes.
So moved.
A motion from Commissioner Honeycutt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Cradoff. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that motion carries. I'll now open the public hearing for agenda item 2, Unified Development Code text amendment UDCT 01228120 for solar energy systems, and ask for exhibits from our city attorney, Jackie Summer.
I offer the following exhibits into the record. Exhibit 1, staff report with attachments. 2, applicant plans with attachments. 3, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on January 29, 2022. 4, Title IV Land Use Section Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference. And 5, 2014 Comprehensive Plan by reference.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'd ask for staff presentation. Mr. Wright.
Right, thank you, Chair Sanderson and Commissioners. Before this evening is a UDC text amendment to the Solar Energy Systems Regulations in Section 405060A8. The City Council adopted regulations for the installation of solar energy systems in July 2019, which included the addition of the prohibition on solar panels located on the primary street-facing roof slope. Included in the staff report are statistics on solar panel installation permits that have been received since the passage of the 2019 ordinance. There have been over a dozen residential solar permits that have either been voided or remain in review, awaiting revisions due to the prohibition on the primary street-facing roof slope. Over the past 2.5 years, staff has received numerous concerns from homeowners and contractors regarding this prohibition and the impact to the feasibility of solar on houses, particularly those that face south and west. Some permits have been revised to meet the code. Those solar panels were placed in less optimal locations. Other solar permits were withdrawn or were not submitted as the solar installation was no longer feasible due to the limited availability to capture solar energy. Solar technology continues to evolve and new designs are being introduced to the market with panels that give the appearance of roofing shingles or tiles. The current prohibition would not allow those types of panels to be installed on the primary street-facing roof slope. At the December 6, 2021 City Council meeting, the City Council discussed this prohibition and directed staff to bring forward a UDC text amendment for the City Council to consider removing that prohibition. The Development Advisory Commission met on February 9th to review the text amendment and recommended unanimous approval of the amendment. However, the Commission did express concerns over how the prohibition will impact HOAs that may have their own solar restrictions. The Commission recommended that the building permit application form and approval letter make it clear that any approvals by the city do not limit the HOA's ability to enforce private restrictions regarding the review and placement of solar energy systems. HOAs are allowed to have more restrictive solar regulations in the city, but they are responsible for enforcing their covenants and restrictions. The only amendment being proposed, which is on the screen, is striking the last section of letter F that states roof-mounted solar panels shall not be allowed on the primary street-facing roof plane. No other standards or permitting processes are being modified with this request. With that, staff does recommend approval of the text amendment as requested, and I'll stand for any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff by the commissioners? All right, thanks. Does anybody in the audience like to speak in favor of this UDC text amendment? Does anybody in the audience who'd like to speak in opposition to this text amendment? Any other discussion by the commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Billups.
I just want to say that I am very, very happy to see that the council and the staff are bringing this forward. I have thought ever since 2019, when the initial one was passed, that this ruling created an unfair circumstance depending on which side of the street you lived on. And I don't like to see different residents treated unfairly simply by which way their house faces. So I am very glad to see this, and I will be voting in favor of it.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Yep,
I
Commissioner
echo
Craddock.
the commissioner's sentiments, and I hope that as we evolve, that we get more developmental projects involved with this as well, along with our schools and city businesses as well.
All right. Any other comments by the commissioners? Commissioner Banks.
I will agree with my commissioners. I feel the same way about this, and I'm really glad to see it come forward.
Any other final comments? All right, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion on the Unified Development Code text amendment.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Billups.
I would move for approval of the Unified Development Code text amendment, UDCT 01228120.
All right, thank you. I have a motion from Commissioner Billups. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Craddock. This will be a roll call vote.
Commissioner Banks,
Aye.
Commissioner Peel,
Nay.
Commissioner Billups,
Aye.
Commissioner Stokenberry, Commissioner Honeycutt,
Aye.
Commissioner Cradoff,
Aye.
Chairperson Sanderson.
Aye. All right, so that motion carried and will be recommended and heard by the City Council at their Tuesday, February 22nd meeting at 6 p.m. Now I'm going to open the public hearing for agenda item 3, site plan design review with alternative development standard, SPDR 01228114 from McCarthy Blue Springs Hyundai. We'll also hear item 4 for the master alternative sign plan, ASP 01228115. And we'll ask for exhibits from our city attorney, Jackie Summer.
I offer the following exhibits into the record. Exhibit 1, staff report with attachments. 2, applicant plans with attachments. 3, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on January 29, 2022. 4, 185-foot notification map. 5, names and addresses of property owners within 185 feet of the site. 6, copy of the letter sent to said property owners. 7, Title IV Land Use Section Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference. And 8, 2014 Comprehensive Plan by reference.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'd ask for the staff presentation. Ms. Bright.
Before you this evening is a request for approval of a site plan design review with alternative development standards and a master sign plan from McCarthy Blue Springs Hyundai. The applicant is proposing to add about 495 square feet to the existing building, add 2 vehicle display pads, update their signage, and modify the site slightly. The property is located at 3000 Northwest South Outer Road. It is zoned regional commercial and includes approximately 3.58 acres. The applicant is proposing a small addition to the northwest corner of the existing building and to update their parking lot to meet ADA regulations. They're also updating the exterior to match current design standards. Proposed materials include EFIS-shaped metal panels and new windows. The plan includes 2 car display pads with which they're requesting a 2.41 setback on the western display and a 2.6 setback on the eastern display. This is an alternative development standard, as the special use standards for vehicle sales requires a 25-foot setback from the front property line. Staff supports the request because we believe the 2 displays will not cause visibility issues due to the abundance of right-of-way at this location. The displays will have their own lighting, but the photometric plan still meets all the UDC requirements. For signage, the applicant is wanting to remove all the existing signage and update. There proposed to be 3 wall signs on the north side of the building. And once we scroll, and 1 on the west side of the building. All wall signage complies with the current sign code. Sorry. Okay. There's a request for a pylon sign, which means that the existing pole sign would be removed. The site is not eligible for a pylon sign due to its size, but staff feels as though the pylon is less intensive than the pole sign that's currently there. The sign height is proposed to be just under 34 feet tall, and the maximum for a 4-acre site would be 12 feet. Also, the applicant is requesting a 13-foot setback, and the sign code requires a pylon sign setback to be the sign height plus 2 feet. The last signage that the applicant is requesting are vehicle entrance signs. The sign code only allows vehicle entrance signs to be 6 square feet, and the plans show them to be about 9.68 square feet. Staff feels as though the request is justified due to the size of the site and the use of the property. Staff reviewed the site plan design review application and finds that all review criteria, except for the alternative development standard for a reduction in the vehicle display setback, has been met. Staff recommends approval of the site plan design review with alternative development standards with 3 conditions. Staff also reviewed the master sign plan application and finds that the deviations from the code are reasonable and just based on the land use and location. Staff recommends approval of the master sign plan with 2 conditions, and I'm here for any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff by the commissioners? All right, thank you. Would the applicant like to come forward and make a presentation or answer any questions? So you need to be sworn in and then state your name and address, please, for the record.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, so help you God.
I do.
State your name and address.
Chris Martin, 21. Chris Martin, 2121 Central Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Again, I'm Chris Martin with Piper Wind Architects, the applicant for the project, and I think the presentation explained the general nature of the project. Exterior improvements to the building to upgrade the site, improve accessibility, and meet current Hyundai sort of national branding standards as well. I'm open to any questions.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant by the commissioners? All right, see none, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in the audience who'd like to speak in favor of this project? Is there anybody in the audience who'd like to speak in opposition to this project? Any other discussion by the commissioners? Yes,
I'd
Commissioner
like
Pratt.
to say that this addition, I think, is beneficial aesthetically to the property and the new developments that are occurring in that area.
All right, thank you, Mr. Coretta. Any other comments or discussion by the commissioners? Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing and ask for a motion on the site plan design review with alternative development standards.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Billups.
I would move for approval of the site plan design review 01228114 with the 3 staff conditions.
All right, have a motion from Commissioner Billups. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Honeycutt. This will be a roll call vote.
Commissioner Peel,
Aye.
Commissioner Billups,
Aye.
Commissioner Stokenberry, Commissioner Honeycutt,
Aye.
Commissioner Cradoff,
Aye.
Commissioner Banks,
Aye.
Chairperson Sanderson.
Aye. All right, so that motion carried with the 1 staff condition. I now ask for a motion on the master alternative sign plan.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Billups.
would also move for approval of the master alternative sign plan ASP 01228115 with the 2 staff conditions.
All right, have a motion from Commissioner Billups. Do I have a second?
Second.
I guess second from Commissioner Stokenberry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
All right, so that motion carried with the 1 staff condition, or the 2 staff conditions, I'm sorry. All right, next item on the agenda is item 5 and 6, site plan design review SPDR 11218044 and final plat PF 11218043 for Con Carpet East. And I would ask for the staff's presentation. Ms. Kelly.
Thank you, Chair Sanderson and Commissioners. The next item before you this evening is a request for the approval of a site plan design review and a final plat for the development of a 19,424 square foot general commercial building on 2 undeveloped lots, zoned GB General Business, located at 350 and 400 Northwest Artie Mize Road. The building will be used by Con Carpet as a retail showroom for contractor showings with additional office space and storage of carpet and flooring materials. The two parcels of land total approximately 2.55 acres and are generally located on Northwest Artie Mize Road, about 1,110 feet east of Northwest 7 Highway. The proposed development will include 2 access points off of Artie Mize Road and 32 parking spaces, 2 of which will be ADA accessible. The building and site meet all general commercial building type standards, including setbacks and height standards. The building is largely composed of dark gray and light gray ephes with masonry accents. Metal canopy awnings accent the 2 primary building entrances. A pedestrian connection will be implemented connecting the building's main entrance to the existing sidewalk along Artie Mize Road. The applicant has provided adequate buffering and screening from adjacent properties and uses. On December 20th, 2021, the City Council approved the General Development Plan. The applicant has submitted the Site Plan Design Review and Final Plat concurrently. Staff reviewed the applications and find that all review criteria has been met and the proposal aligns with the previously approved General Development Plan. Staff recommends approval of the Site Plan Design Review with 2 conditions and the approval of the Final Plat with 4 conditions. And I will stand for any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff or the commissioners? Okay. None, thank you. Would the applicant like to come forward and speak?
Okay.
And we'll just need your name and address for the record, please.
Tim Owens. At 700 North 7 Highway, Artie Mize and 7 Highway. Or do you want my home address or the work? Doesn't matter.
Fine.
Really, it's just going to open up for questions. We appreciate all the expertise and just the guidance through this process. We're excited and looking forward to expanding our business and continuing to grow and be successful in Blue Springs community. And just want to open up, have any questions, be happy to answer any.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the applicant by the commissioners? All right, see none. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Any further discussion by the commissioners? Okay. Seeing none, I would ask for a motion on the site plan design review.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Banks.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the site plan design review of Con Carpet East, SPDR-11-21-8044 with the 2 conditions.
All right, thank you. I have a motion from Commissioner Banks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Honeycutt, and this will be a roll call vote.
Commissioner Billups,
Aye.
Commissioner Stokenberry,
Aye.
Commissioner Honeycutt,
Aye.
Commissioner Cradoff,
Aye.
Commissioner Banks,
Aye.
Commissioner Peel,
Aye.
Chairperson Sanderson.
Aye. Okay, so that motion carried with the 2 staff conditions. I would ask for a motion on the final plat.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Banks.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the final plat for Con Carpet East, PF-11-21-8043 with the 4 staff conditions.
All right, thank you. I have a motion from Commissioner Banks. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Honeycutt, and this will also be a roll call vote.
Commissioner Stokenberry,
Aye.
Commissioner Honeycutt,
Aye.
Commissioner Cradoff,
Aye.
Commissioner Banks,
Aye.
Commissioner Peel,
Aye.
Commissioner Billups,
Aye.
Chairperson Sanderson.
Aye. All right, so that motion also carried. This item we recommended and heard by the City Council at their Tuesday, February 22nd meeting at 6 p.m. All right, the next item on the agenda is items 7 and 8, plan development, final plans, and site plan design review, PDFS 01228132, and final plat, PF 01228116 for Blue Springs High School and Freshman Center. And I would ask for the staff's presentation, Ms. Bright.
Before you this evening is a request for approval of a plan development, final plan, and site plan design review, and a final plat. The applicant is proposing to construct an addition to the northwest corner of the existing high school building, reconfigure the existing parking, construct a new private drive, and implement traffic calming along Northwest Ashton Drive. The project includes 2000 Northwest Ashton Drive, 2009 Northwest Ashton Drive, and 2101 Northwest Vesper Street. It is zoned SF7 PD and includes approximately 64.15 acres. Currently, 2009 Northwest Ashton Drive is the annex building for the high school. This plan includes demolishing that building for the construction of a new parking lot, which will be shared with the church to the north. The parking lot was approved for a 7-foot setback with a previously approve variance, which this plan does not follow. The current plan is encroaching into the setback by 2.2 feet. The parking lot will have to comply with the 7-foot setback during the building permit review before any building permits are issued, which the condition was added recently. Blue Springs High School sits at 2000 Northwest Ashton Drive, and the applicant is proposing an approximately 83,000 square foot expansion. The existing parking lot will be reconfigured to include a roundabout to create better circulation for pickup and drop-off. The bus loop is being modified to be separated from the western parking lot and will include additional parking for staff. The building materials for the proposed expansion will match existing materials, including a mix of brick and metal panels. The existing Freshman Center building is at 2101 Northwest Vesper Street and is proposed to be an innovation and career center. The site will also contain Wildcat Drive, which is the proposed private drive that will be used to bus students and create a north-south access point to the high school campus. The drive will reach a maximum of 32 feet from grade and at its highest point and will include fencing as a safety precaution. The current parking will be modified slightly and more parking for staff will be installed along the existing bus loop. The applicant is proposing 998 parking spaces for the Blue Springs High School campus and 181 spaces for the existing Freshman Center. The applicant has also provided a Schedule C parking memo justifying the number of spaces. The plan also proposes 3 parking spaces for the northeast lot at 2009 Northwest Ashton Drive on the property owned by Calvary Baptist Church. A shared access agreement is in place between the church and the school. With the PD concept plan, the applicant was approved a 0-foot rear and side setback for that parking lot. Also approved with the PD concept plan was the reduction in the required drive aisle width and parking stall dimension. The plans before you this evening are consistent with those approvals, with the drive aisle being a minimum of 24 feet and the parking stall being 9 feet wide by 18 feet long. Also, there are 10 bike parking spaces, being provided, which were deemed adequate by the parking memo with input from the school district. The applicant is requesting an alternative compliance landscape plan since much of the site is already built out. Staff feels as though the proposed landscaping meets the intent of the code and therefore the request is justified. There is adequate buffering along the west property line of the Freshman Center lot, which will help screen the view of the proposed private drive from the residents that back up to this site. There is also landscaping provided for the proposed parking lot at the northeast corner of Northwest Ashton Drive and Northwest 22nd Street to screen the parking. The final plat for all 3 lots is in substantial compliance with the previously approved preliminary plat. Staff reviewed the applications and finds that all review criteria, except for the previously approved deviations, have been met. Staff recommends approval of the plan development final plan site plan design review with 4 conditions, which includes the additional condition recommended this evening. Staff also recommends approval of the final plat with 3 conditions. And I'm here for any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff by the commissioners? All right, thank you. Would the applicant like to come forward and speak? Just need your name and address, please.
Christopher Koch, 1828 Walnut Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Thank you for allowing me to be here tonight. I know we've been up here a couple times. Hopefully this is the last for a while. I'd like to thank the City Council for the unanimous approval we received back in December. We'd also like to thank the community for the 82% supports that we received for the bond measure last year that's allowing us to be here today anyway. My design team and I are very proud of the project we have in front of you today. We take great pride in the work we do and the school district that we represent. This project has been 2 years in the making. We started in February of 2020, so this has been a long journey for all of us. Construction started in January of 2022, so last month. We've got a lot of demolition work around the Civic Center that's already taking place, which allows us to do this addition because much of the utilities of the school follow through that Civic Center currently, so we're doing a preliminary enabling work essentially. My design team and I are on hand tonight. I, along with Michael Killian from Land 3 and David Ratley from MKEC, are here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the applicant by the commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Banks.
I have a question. The residents that, where the bridge is gonna be coming across and moving through, I know their biggest concerns was the curbing, no sidewalks, and traffic. I don't know if anybody's discussed this with them or if anything's been resolved.
Yes, ma'am, and
Because that's my main concern is my residents there.
in the city council meeting in December, there was an indication that there would be improvements made along 22nd Street south of Vesper. Again, that's outside of our project scope, but there was an indication that that work would be looked into by Public Works at least.
And I gather it has or has not, Mr. Mayor Adam. Have we looked into what
Yeah,
the
the
possibilities?
project has been identified as one for the capital improvement plan. So I believe it's being added into capital improvement plans and budgets established. So it's something that we are actively looking at, the 22nd Street work.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant by the commissioners?
I'd also like to add that we have no objection with deviation in the setback, so we will adjust the parking lot as required by the code.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Any other further discussion by the commissioners?
Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Phillips?
I yield to Mr. Phillips.
Thank you.
Commissioner Phillips.
I know we're all aware of this. I just want to remind everyone that what we're looking at here is simply the scope of what the school district property, and whether or not it is in compliance with the original plans. This is not a do we like it or do we not like it situation. We do have that power over some things, but this isn't one of them. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just wanted to remind everyone.
Mr. Peel.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Although I will be voting for the project, I also have a concern that I believe the road is a ill-directed use of taxpayer funds. Thank you, Chair.
All right. Any other further discussion by the commissioners? All right. Hearing none, I'd ask for a motion on the plan development final plan, site plan design review.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Peel, or Billups, sorry. Sorry, Commissioner Billups.
That's all right. I've been called worse than that. I would make a motion to approve the PD final plan site plan design review, PDFS 01228132 with the 4 staff conditions.
All right, thank you. Have a motion from Commissioner Billups. Do I have a second? Second from Commissioner Cradoff. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so that motion carried with the 4 staff conditions. I would now ask for a motion on the final plat.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Billups.
Would also move for approval of the final plat, PF 01228116, with the 3 staff conditions.
Thank you. Have a motion from Commissioner Billups. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Stokenberry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay. So that motion carried with the 3 staff conditions. That item will be recommended and heard by the City Council at their Tuesday, February 22nd meeting at 6 p.m.
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
is there 4 conditions on this PD instead of 3?
There was 4 conditions on the plan development final plan and 3 on the
Okay.
final plan.
Okay.
All right, next item on the agenda is item 9 and 10, site plan design review, SPDR 01228111, and final plat PF at 01228111 for Dollar General. And at this time, I would ask for a staff presentation. Ms. Kelly.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda this evening is the request for the approval of a site plan design review and final plat for the property located at the southeast corner of Southwest 7 Highway and Northeast Colburn Road, which is approximately 4.4 acres for the purpose of developing a general commercial building for a Dollar General store. The subject property was annexed into the City of Blue Springs on August 2nd, 2021. On October 18th, 2021, the City Council approved a rezoning and a general development plan with conditions. The applicant submitted the site plan design review application and final plat application to be reviewed concurrently. The proposed building is a one-story general commercial building which will be approximately 10,640 square feet. The lower one-third of the proposed building's exterior facade will be composed primarily of brick. The upper two-thirds will be composed primarily of plank siding. Staff believes that the conceptual building renderings meet the building design standards. All development standards for general commercial building type have been met, including setbacks and building height. The proposal includes one access drive onto Northeast Colburn Road for vehicle access. Currently, no public sidewalk exists along the portion of Southwest 7 Highway or Northeast Colburn Road abutting the property. Prior to occupancy, a 5-foot ADA compliant sidewalk must be installed as required by MoDOT and Public Works. As required by code, a 5-foot private sidewalk is proposed connecting the building's main entrance to the parking lot and existing public sidewalk. Additionally, a 9-foot sidewalk is proposed along the front facade of the building, and an 8-foot sidewalk is proposed along the east side of the building connecting the main entrance to the parking lot. 15 feet of right-of-way behind the proposed or existing curb along both roadways will be dedicated. The proposed development will be adequately screened and buffered from nearby single-family neighborhoods. Staff reviewed the applications and found that all review criteria has been met and that they allow the vacant lot to be developed. Staff recommends approval of the site plan design review with 2 conditions and the final plat with 3 conditions. And I will stand for any questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions for staff by the commissioners? See none, thank you. Would the applicant like to come forward and speak? Just need your name and address, please.
Chris Crowder, 1502 Birch Drive, Greenwood, Missouri. I'm just here as a representative for the civil engineering firm on the project, Caw Valley Engineering, and to answer any questions that you guys might have.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the applicant by commissioners? See none, thank you. Any further discussion by the commissioners? All right, seeing none, I'd ask for a motion on the site plan design review.
Chair,
Commissioner Peel.
I move that site plan design review SPDR 01228111 with 2 conditions be approved as submitted by staff.
All right, thank you. I have a motion from Commissioner Peel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Honeycutt. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so that motion carried with the 2 staff conditions. And I would ask for a motion on the final plat.
Chair,
Commissioner Peel.
I move that final plat PF 01228112 for Dollar General with the 3 conditions be approved as submitted by staff.
All right, I have a motion from Commissioner Peel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Honeycutt. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so that motion also carried and will be recommended and heard by the City Council at their Tuesday, February 22nd meeting at 6 p.m. All right, last item on the agenda is other business. And Mr. Wright.
Yep, thank you, Chair and Commissioners. Yes, we will have a meeting on Monday, February 28th. We do have a few agenda items for you. And then also at the end of the packet this evening was the January 2022 monthly report, which I'll just quickly skim over with you. For building permits, we issued 98 permits in January, 208 new dwelling units, 10 of those single family, and then the Edison at Blue Springs apartment complex, 198 units total in that development. That is the apartment complex on Mock Avenue, north of St. Mary's, between Moley Chevrolet and Ignite Medical Resort. We also had several commercial projects, 1 new commercial and 5 alterations. Total square footage permitted during the month was over 912,000 square feet. Most of that was from the Edison project. Total construction costs $32 million, which is significantly higher than January 2021, where it was $5 million. And again, most of that construction cost was associated with the Edison, as well as some other commercial permits that were approved during the month. Code enforcement, there were 105 new cases added, and then those were related to business license required, trash, and nuisance inspections. Trash and nuisance are typically in the top three. Business license required. Periodically, they send out a full list of those that need to be addressed. And then for planning activity, some of the projects that the Planning Commission had seen and made recommendations on that were approved by council last month include the retreat at Chapman Farms, which is the project down north and east of Lead Bank in Chapman Farms. Also, the White Oak Mixed Use Project was approved by City Council on January 18th, as well as several plats approved, including the Derrick James Estate, which is a lot on Artie Mize, and then Copperleaf Shopping Center, which was the replat to split off the Popeyes lot separately. Sign permits, there were 10 during the month of January, which was up 5 over January 2021. So that concludes the development report. Are there any questions on anything in the report or any development projects?
Looks like none.
Okay, well, we will see everybody on Monday, February 28th.
Any other staff business then?
Is all that we have this
Okay.
evening.
Any other business by the commissioners? Okay. Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion from Commissioner Honeycutt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Banks. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this meeting is adjourned. Good night.